I wonder if y'all can see my nips through this sweater here. I got dark nips. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is Filthy Frank. Alright, so clearly it's not just Filthy Frank that I'm talking about today. Clearly there's more here, and yes, that is true. So recently, here, let's and let's turn that off too. I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna get the AC. I'll be right back, babe. TikTok got me making whipped coffee. Women be shopping, I be drinking. You know what I mean? Clearly Filthy Frank isn't like the actual subject of this video. The actual subject of this video are the smooth brains that have just discovered that Joji is Filthy Frank. But I do know that some of my friends from high school and early university, and even right now in university, still like talk to me and they view my YouTube. So shout out if you guys are one of them. Most of my friends that I know from back then also watched Filthy Frank, just like I did. We loved Filthy Frank. When he went off on his music career, I almost cried when he put that tweet out. Not even making this up. I was very upset when he left YouTube. In hindsight, he left right at the right time. H3H3 is kind of trash right now in my opinion. iDubbbz, need I say more? Max Mofo and Chad are about the only guys that I guess kind of stayed the course. Their Cold Ones podcast is hilarious, and I could watch Max Mofo unboxing Pokemon for days. And I have. I've spent most of this quarantine going back through the entirety of his catalog and watching all of it, and also starting my own Pokemon collection. Because of that, I'm not making this up. I hate myself, so let's just move on. Let's just move on. So I know that most of the people who watch my YouTube channel know who Filthy Frank is. He was a content creator from, I would say, when YouTube was lawless and you could just kind of do whatever you wanted to on it. It was kind of like he was the Eric Andre of YouTube, but kind of had a lore going on behind the scenes. Eric Andre is just kind of chaos. He had a little bit of a lore going on. Personally, I never kept up with the lore. I would just watch it for the shock value. And spoiler alert, most of his stuff is done for shock value. In his About section on his YouTube page is very obviously, hey, this is, a joke. This is not who I am, and this is a character. Here's the About section for his YouTube page. He did a lot of really gross things. The cake series being probably one of the grossest things I've ever viewed on YouTube. Honestly, pretty much any time that you got Filthy Frank into a kitchen setting, you can pretty much bet that I was gagging through the entire video. But I would still watch it. I love Filthy Frank. His content to me was it was something that like I had never seen before in my entire life. Out of this world, completely, most of the jokes that he was making, no one would dare make on TV or in most movies for that matter. So it was just, I don't know, it was kind of a breath of fresh air. Because when you're a kid, and when I first started watching Filthy Frank, I was a kid, so all of these jokes were kind of very fresh and original to me. And even still, some of the lines he pushed and crossed, dare I say, not too many other people would cross them in an open platform, especially such as YouTube, seeing as this clip right here, I'm pretty sure you can't even do anything like this on YouTube anymore and expect to go anywhere. I'm a very big fan of satire, whether it's political, social, whatever, I don't think that anything should be not made fun of. I think that when something is not allowed to be made fun of, I think you're giving that word, that phrase, that ideology, whatever it is, you're giving it power. And if you don't like it, or for instance, you don't like it being made fun of, you're giving the people that can freely make fun of that, or who do freely associate with that, let's take an ideology for an example, freely associate with something like white supremacy. If you can't joke about that, you've given it power, okay? And it's dangerous to give ideologies like that power. when you just, when you take an ideology or a political viewpoint or whatever and you make fun of it. When you make fun of something like that, you're stripping the power away from it. This isn't about that. Sorry I got up on a bit of a soapbox there for a second, ladies and gentlemen, but here we go. We're back and ready for action. Looney Tunes back in action. Today we're talking about the smooth brains that have just discovered that the same man that is filming this is Joji. I love Joji's music, and I remember when he first started making music, I was talking to one of my friends that really liked the character of Filthy Frank as well and the whole thing that they were doing there. We were talking back and forth, and she says, I really hope that his time in doing Filthy Frank doesn't come back to bite him on the butt later on when he's Joji. And I was like, there's no way. I thought the majority of his fan base was pretty much going to stay, the people that watched him on YouTube. I didn't think, well, he's making all of this new music now and, branching himself out into a new genre or anything. I never thought that new people would find him and have no idea who he is, just think he was a music artist. The thought never crossed my mind that some K-pop fans, which, for those of you who don't know, Korean pop music, I'm in the know. K-pop! So these people are smooth brains, in my opinion, because I think that if you go back and you look at his old catalog and you're disgusted, you're grossed out by it, and he said a certain word, or did a certain thing, or said a certain phrase, but you don't actually research any farther than just watching a couple of minutes of his YouTube channel and seeing a couple edgy tweets from back in the day when, by the way, it was cool to make all those jokes. Lest we forget, everybody wants to look back, another soapbox real quick, everybody wants to look back at history, or even, 10 and 20 years ago, with 2020 goggles, when we can't make these jokes for one reason or another. We can't say that thing, we can't do this thing, and it's like, all these people come out and they're all like, with their pitchforks, cancel him, whatever. It's a big cancel culture, They either weren't alive back then, which I feel like if they were alive, they didn't have access to the internet. I don't know what the frig is going on, because he was popping on the internet. This was funny back then, okay? We're talking about Robert Downey Jr. in blackface for a 2-hour-long movie. That was in theaters. And we don't actually take into account the context for the joke, for the humor, for the whatever was happening back in whatever year, because it's the current year. So these people go back and they find all this, incriminating stuff, and they start blasting it. Hashtag cancel Joji. Hashtag Joji is over party, which is a hashtag that you use only when you are the most pretentious human being on the planet. I hate that hashtag so much. Joji is over, X is over, party. You're gonna party about someone losing their careers, regardless of what they've done, aside of, they're like a sexual predator or something like that, and it's been proven in a court of law. So you're really gonna celebrate someone losing their job, their livelihood, with a party? It's not being held. Great, you are the lowest scum, okay? Pretentious jerk. You're a pretentious jerk, you're fat. And you don't even read the about page, his about section on YouTube. You don't realize that this is, it's not biting political commentary, okay, for this. A lot of the stuff he did, though, with a lot of the characters he used and stuff, was social commentary. He even says it. These are the people you shouldn't aspire to be. These are trash human beings, blah, 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 blah. It's just back then we could laugh at it, it was a joke. I don't know what is up with people these days, just not being able to laugh at an edgy joke. Ugh. Sorry, I sound like a boomer right now, and I completely understand that. This is a joke. He's a joke. He is the butt of most of the jokes. You know what I mean? He's not degrading or belittling anyone aside from himself and his friends. Do you know that, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. There's not really a structure to this video. I apologize. It's not like there's a structure to most of my videos, just because I'm ranting most of the times. And it was like what happened to the James Gunn a few years ago, where he made a couple of edgy tweets, and it was back in the beginning of Twitter. It was edgy jokes and edgy tweets that were hilarious, in my opinion. Some of them didn't land, but whatever, they were still jokes. That's the other thing. If you don't find it funny, I'm sorry. That's your problem. It's still a joke. Just because you don't find it funny doesn't mean a million other people don't find it funny. Or don't find it funny in that instance. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm just so angry because such a big part of the beginning of my internet infancy, I suppose, when I first was like really getting deep into the internet. Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, Maximofo, those were the guys to kind of take me by the hand and show me this horrendous humor. I just want to end with a couple of videos, or a couple of the highlights, for me. Because Filthy Frank to me had some of the best one-liners, some of the best punchlines, just some of the best jokes on YouTube. And I think he still has that. I don't think anybody has come close to him in some of the jokes that he's done. So this might all be nostalgia goggles or whatever, but whatever. Enjoy this outro of some Filthy Frank highlights. If you enjoyed today's video, please smash that like, maybe subscribe if you feel so inclined. We'll see you in the next one. Remember to always take the stairs, pull over if you get tired of me, grab a hotel. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
God left me unfinished!
Is your pet misbehaving? Now you can place your pet in a nice long sock.
He's too strong. Dade, do something, quick. Jeez. Welcome to the Filthy Frank Show. I have no money. So as we said, what we need is we need a PewDiePie tattoo.
Yep.
Of the BroFist logo, and we want meme. We want that on one cheek.
Yep.
And we want meme, just meme.
Just me?
On the other cheek. What do you boys think?
Hey, that's pretty good.